There are many different types of myths on Roblox. Most of the first myth stories were based on true events that had already happened, but it didn't take long for myths to come around and make their own unique story. A myth is all about a story around a person, place, or thing. The myth isn't about how scary it is, although that is a major part of it. It is about the story that takes place. A lot of myths have creepy and cryptic messages hidden in their games. The first time I've ever heard of a myth on Roblox was when Flamingo posted a video titled, "I'm not safe on Roblox anymore." It was made on January 20th, 2018. This video had a myth called Rust 010 in it. Flamingo played many scary games in this video, but Rust's game took the cake.
Anything. You've been identified as Wait, what? Yeah, it's correct, but no, wait, what? My username is I hate my son. Why would it identify me as Flamingo?
Sometime after the video, Rust reached out to Flamingo. Then Flamingo made another video on Rust and his games. After I saw that second video, I knew I was hooked. I realized how creative and horrifying myths can be. They have such a way with making their stories feel real. Rust was the first verified myth to actually follow YouTubers in-game, pretending to be a normal player. There were a few times where Rust was confirmed to have been helping Flamingo go through their horrifying game. The height of Rust's popularity was when he posted a bunch of locations that were all around the world in his game. There are even videos of people going to some of those locations. It's crazy. But all they found were abandoned houses from some long-forgotten stranger. There were many more videos made on Rust, but we never got an end to the story. The last video Flamingo made on Rust was titled, "A Very Weird Thing Happened in Roblox." It was posted on March 5th, 2019. The video ended with no resolution to the story. All it had was Flamingo and Caden, Flamingo's friend, calling a meeting. The meeting was for all the fake players in the game. I wish I could explain it more, but no one knows the full story. All anyone knows about the story is that there are these people in an old abandoned town. Everyone seems to think they escaped from a mental hospital. I assume that they were also cultists because of some of the things that happen in Flamingo's videos.
Oh god.
Can I sit with them?
Yeah,
I'd
why
like
not?
to do one of them.
Ah!
What did I just?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Why did they do that?
But other than that, there's nothing. No ending. And sadly, that's how most myths end up. I did some research and found a video made by Rust, and it talked about how Rust lost his motivation for making Roblox myths. They said that they won't be adding any more to their Roblox games, or any resolution to their story. It's sad to see it end like that, but that's just how most myths tend to end up. The next big myth that Flamingo made multiple videos on called himself Chuck Lloyd. Chuck Lloyd set up an amazing story. It was crazy to see all the things that happened to him in Flamingo. Towards the end of the Chuck Lloyd series, you see that he is just a small character with little meaning. He is part of a group on Roblox. It is a myth group, and it shows that there are much bigger things going on than just him. Like most myths, Chuck Lloyd has a tendency to not be active for many months at a time. Then, out of nowhere, he comes online and messages Flamingo to get in a game with him. The first video ever posted on Flamingo's channel about Chuck Lloyd was titled Roblox Scary Mysteries. Just like Rust 010, he played many games in that video. Chuck Lloyd's game, however, wasn't scary at all. It was only on screen for a few minutes. The next video posted on Chuck Lloyd was titled Roblox, an Investigation. It goes a lot more in depth with Chuck Lloyd. After that video, Flamingo posted many more videos on Chuck Lloyd. The last video he posted was titled Roblox Shade Light. In the video, it seemed they were leading up to something huge, but Flamingo never posted another video on Chuck Lloyd. The series lasted for over 1.5 years of Flamingo posting videos on Chuck. It seemed like Chuck Lloyd was going to be another one of those myths that just had a dead end. But there was one last video made on Chuck Lloyd. It wasn't made by Flamingo, it was made by Speedy, a YouTuber that is or was Flamingo's editor. And it was titled Chuck Lloyd is Back. In the video, it had Chuck talking to Speedy, and there was a countdown on the TV. The countdown was for 451 days. That means that the date something should have happened was on October 1st, 2021, but as you can probably tell, it is a while after that date. To this day, no one knows what happened to Chuck Lloyd. Chuck could still be waiting, for all we know. The next myth is the Smiles family. The first video Flamingo made on the Smiles family was great. It was entirely about the Smiles family and them alone, unlike the previous myths he's gone over. They were the first myth on Flamingo's channel to have an entire full-functioning game on the first video Flamingo made on them. The Smiles family probably had the best story I've ever seen on Roblox. It is also the only myth on Flamingo's channel to have an end to their story. The first video Flamingo posted on his channel about the Smiles family was titled Roblox, Smiles Family. In the video, Flamingo explores the game and it already shows signs of a professionally done story. The video was posted on August 1st, 2019. Many other videos followed and they came within a few months of each other, except the last one. The last video made on the Smiles family came out almost exactly a year after the previous video on them. It had an end to the story as well. What a concept. It was also the first myth I ever saw to have a conclusion to their story. I think that is why it's probably the best story I've ever seen on Roblox. The next myth I'm going to be going over is Grocery Gang. Grocery Gang was the start of a new kind of myth. Instead of being really creepy, they decided to go a different route. While they were still really creepy, they were way weirder, and they acted stupid. I mean, like, they couldn't talk well at all. They had so many secrets, though. There was so much to uncover. The first video Flamingo made on them was titled, I Found a Really Creepy Roblox Group. It had Flamingo exploring a game about stocking shelves. You heard me, right? It was a creepy myth game about stocking shelves. Out of all the myths Flamingo made videos on, these people seemed to have the most games. All of the games they had were filled with creepy and cryptic messages. First time Flamingo met one of the people behind these games, it was, well, weird to say the least. They didn't act like a normal human being. They were acting as if they were broken. I don't know how else to explain it, but it seemed that everyone in Grocery Gang was broken.
Shut up, idiot! Eat now! The peanut nut word! We're in the middle of a divorce. No!
They seemed to have a really interesting story, though. Like there was a method to their madness. And when I say madness, I mean serious madness. Nothing made sense. It seemed like this myth would have a full story. The last video Flamingo posted on Grocery Gang was titled Roblox's Disturbing Store. It seemed like there was going to be many more videos on them, but one day, Roblox had just decided to ban most of them, and quote-unquote nuke their servers. Those are the words they used. Now, I'm not sure what happened exactly, but my theory is that they were really accepting of everyone, and they accepted people that Roblox was not okay with. I'm not too sure though. And there goes another good myth down the drain with no ending to their story. Myths tend to make really good stories, but are never able to finish them. This is because there is so much pressure on them to have an amazing ending. Just as it had an amazing beginning, it can be a real demotivator for them. Myths are probably always going to be my most favorite things on Roblox. The creativity it takes to make a story like the ones I mentioned in this video is crazy. The last myth group Flamingo made a video on was Grocery Gang and the Smiles family. The videos were a few days apart from each other. It has been over a year since then. I don't know if Flamingo has decided to stop making myth videos, but I really hope he hasn't. The stories they take him through is just amazing. It shows how creative people can be on Roblox. They use their imagination and come up with these horrifying and amazing stories. Those types of videos were my favorite Flamingo videos ever, and I'm really sad to see that there hasn't been one in a long time, and there may never be one again. There has been many one-off myths Flamingo has made videos on, but there are just too many of those to list. They all seem to have good stories, but they also seem to be copying other bigger myths, more popular myths. Now, I don't know that for sure, that's just what I think. But overall, I just love the scary stories.